Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4! And today, spawning in the northeast corner of the map, playing in red, we've got beastyqt playing as the Golden Horde. And up against them today, spawning in the southwest in blue, we've got Creator playing as the Macedonian dynasty. Welcome everyone to Gorge. As always, hope you guys are having a great morning, good afternoon or good evening. And I'm excited for this one because, of course, we've got the well-known beastyqt, but up against them today is a, well, kind of a new player on the channel at least. I've not seen him around. He's called Creator, he's from Japan, and he's been doing pretty well on the ladder. In fact, top 20 I believe he is at the moment, and he's climbing, so he's doing fantastically well, and today is going to be a strong test for him. Going up against one of the world's best in beastyqt. And we've got two of the new civilizations from the Dynasties of the East DLC. Now, of course, we will be kind of sprinkling some games with some of the old civilizations as well, but I thought this was a game that I just didn't want to miss. Because you've got Beastie, obviously, we know him very well, but Creator, I kind of want to keep an eye on this guy because he's been climbing the ladder, and it's always pretty cool to see new players reaching the top echelons of Age of Empires for their pro scene. So, yeah, excited for this one for sure. Also, I love the fact that we're on Gorge. We've been seeing a lot of dry Arabia recently, and Gorge kind of mixes things up, especially considering the rush distance between the two civilizations. Bear in mind as well, these two civilizations tend to have a bit of a crazy kind of peak in time in terms of army numbers. The Golden Horde, they can really ramp up production when sort of in the Castle Age, 20-25 minute mark. Macedonian Dynasty, to be fair, they have got almost two styles of play. You got the Grand Winery opening for a bit more of a economic approach, Castle Age, into the Ridderi maybe. Or, what we've got here is the Imperial Hippodrome, where you can go for a bit more of a feudal age play, still maybe even go for Castle Age, and to be honest, go for Ridderi. That's usually what they go for. And the Imperial Hippodrome is, I think it's one of my favourite landmarks. It offers a lot of flexibility. You've got 3 champions you can make out of it. One that gives you increased torch damage for melee units, one that gives infantry faster movement speed, and the other giving increased damage output for cavalry. And I think that's the big one, because when you're going up against something like Golden Horde, yes, you can play the macro approach and just go for better unit numbers, or you can go for better unit quality. Especially if you think about going cavalry versus cavalry. Of course, the Golden Horde get access to Turgut and Keshiks and the Batu Khan, whereas the Macedonian dynasty get access to the Ridderi. And I imagine the Ridderi as well with the extra horseman champion, gives them extra damage. And you can got some really cool upgrades from the Varangian arsenal, where again you can increase the damage and also upgrade specifically cavalry units. Now this is kind of curious. Beastie going for building carts, and initially, I didn't think that this was such a great tech up, but actually the more games I've seen and the more I've been sort of analysing how the games have been panning out, this is actually a really good way to get to the next stage. The alternative, of course, is Khan and Turgut, which is quite nice for the late game, but if you're kind of playing a tempo aggression early stages and you want to think about relics, I feel like building carts is really strong. Of course, it gives you 2 building carts that you can place down foundations of military buildings. When you get to the Castle Age, by the way, you get an extra one as well. And I think that's really powerful if you want to get the prayer tent to pick up relics. And that's, I imagine, something that Beastie is thinking about doing today. Of course, you want the relics, and you could potentially go for relic Uvus to get to the Castle Age. And build infinite stone gathering Uvus with those relics. And then you can obviously pump out the Turgut. And even Rus tributes with that stone. Of course, there are plenty of other things you can do with the stone as well. It's going to go for a stable and an archery range opening. Pretty strong combination. You know, you go for Keshiks, you go for archers. Although probably going to rely on Keshiks in the initial stages because you kind of just want to have that mobility, that momentum going for you. Now, interesting, he's gone for another scout, a Hippodrome scout actually, as it happens. Because this one actually increases the torch damage. Not really anything too exciting in the early game. Unless he's really to be fair, he can actually torch down the Uvu. This is not a bad play. I like it. because he's slowly going to build up momentum and units. He's pumping them out, and there's the second horseman out already. Of course, the extra vision as well, which is always handy. There's Batu Khan coming out. A strong hero unit, increases the damage output in level 1 by 10% for allied units around. Level 2, 20%. Level 3, 30%. And there's the Varangian Arsenal, where you just spend all your silver to get some important upgrades. He's indeed going to go for the increase in melee armor for all infantry. One thing that's really cool, by the way, that we've not really touched upon in many games with the Macedonian dynasty, is the fact that when you get the armor upgrades, it doesn't just give you an additional armor, it increases the health by 5%. It's a pretty nifty bonus. Every little bit helps, right? You get a bit of an edge on your opponent because of it. Oh, he's spotting out the Uvus. And this is like a smart move, because he's just going to torch us down. And if he does get the... Here we go. The Hippodrome Scout. I think they're making their way now there. Once he gets there, he'll torch that down quick time. Of course, he's got to split his army between torching and taking care of enemy units. Now, he has actually gone for the Atgemether, which is going to be essentially the spearman for the Macedonian dynasty. Going for the melee mosh pit rather than the knight archer or horseman archer combination. Another champion has arrived, by the way. Okay, this is interesting. It's the horseman. This is the one that gives the increased cavalry damage by +2. So when you think about it, like, you've got the +1 armor on the melee infantry. I mean, it's not on the cavalry, but if it wasn't the cavalry, you had an extra 5% health. He's got the extra damage coming out courtesy of the Hippodrome Horseman. But this is the thing, right? The Atgemether have been increased in the melee armor and also health, making them a bit more tanky. No blacksmith upgrades here for Beastie just yet. Does have a fortified outpost in the gold. It almost looks like it's thinking about Castle Age. Maybe. I mean, it's got 7 villages in gold. Maybe just thinking about getting Keshiks, right? I guess that's probably one thing he's thinking about with that gold income. Does engage with the spear. That's not a good fight for Beastie. He wants to get out of there for sure. Will not want to hang around there. We'll snipe one. Good pick-off in the end. These small differences, these small pick-offs here and there, could start to accumulate in this particular matchup. I would like to say, by the way, a very big thank you for everyone who's been supporting the channel, whether it be on Twitch or YouTube. You guys are absolute legends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And a big shout out to the players as well, actually. I want to try and make sure I do that more, because of course the players are the ones playing the games and having fun with it, but also gives us an ability to analyze their games. So I'll look to leave a link in the video description to where you can find these players if you want to watch their point of view when they are playing. That game method just going to be hanging around the outpost. Good thing he left these here, actually, because these could have been 3 dead villagers. You can see the slow methodical play here by Creator. He's not in the top echelons of Age of Empires 4 Pro scene right now, or at least in terms of the ladder, for no reason. Of course, there's a big difference between ladder and tournament winnings, so we'll see how he develops in the next couple of months. Gonna go around to the wood line. This could be a bit problematic. Good quick reactions though. Garrison's the town centre as well, so this Turgut might suffer some losses. It's just okay for now. That's the crazy thing, right? They can heal up by just torching the house. He's gonna run on out of that. He's not gonna hang around for too long because the spearmen are getting involved. Alright, where are we at the moment? Alright, there we go. There's a scale barding for the cavalry. Can increase the health by 5%. At Gemether are trying to chase. Gonna go for a bit of a sandwich here. Try and get a wrap around. Now bear in mind, it is Keshiks versus Horsemen, so technically Beastie will have the edge in terms of just direct unit fights, but of course the Gemether are going to be wanting to get involved, and if they do, the Keshiks will melt, as with the Turgut. Alright, Steel Darrow coming on in. Wheelbarrow is in play for Beastie. Oh, snipes are he's going to snipe a villager here. Oh, a bit slow to react there, Creator, but no villager lost, in fact, but very low on health, all of these ones. Wouldn't be surprised to see him pull them back home, because it's just so weak. Beastie might look to try and snipe them. But that is a lot of that game method. Like, all it takes is one bad engagement for Beastie, and it could be very, very problematic. Yeah, outpost being built, but... oh, they're sending a lot more villagers to mix it up, actually. It's probably a good idea. Getting the outpost, getting the food, trying to pump out units. This is where it becomes key to get map control and plenty of units on the field so you can get these deer camps. Although it looks like Beasty's gone for the stockyards. That's a cool kind of new thing for the Golden Horde. 4 sheep spawn and it's like an instant drop off, so it's actually very efficient in terms of food gathering. Oh, comes out for a bit. Heals on up. At game method are kind of come into play now, so caused a bit of idle time, Beastie. Not too shabby. One thing to bear in mind, I've had a comment in the comment section a couple of times about the stockyard edict. So it's not like the pastures for the Malians. You can't, like, you're not safe here. These villages can be sniped. They can be raided. Oh, walls. Okay, just, I don't know. I think that's still open, to be fair. I think BC just pulled out. It doesn't want to dive into a place where he can't get out of, right? So, well, that wood line could have been, you know, in trouble. But thinks better of it. Yeah, pretty dynamic early game, as things considered. Pretty active feudal age. I'm kind of curious to see if they're going to go for the castle age anytime soon. But the gold is just kind of crazy for the Macedonian dynasty. Because bear in mind, these upgrades, you don't need gold for it. So it's 100... Oh, wait a minute. Okay. It didn't dive in too far. But yeah, the fact that you don't have to spend gold for these upgrades means that you actually don't need that many villages on gold. And I don't think it's had that many, more than 3 here created. And look how much gold is floating in the bank. So all he needs really is food, and he should be on the way to the castle age. But he's sticking around for now. The food income is coming in. The economy's looking really good for him. That's a lot of at-game effort. When you this is the thing. This is the difference between going for horseman spearman versus a cavalry and archer. Is eventually when you develop a critical mass like this, you can just bulldoze your way through if you so wish. Archers, not so much. And there's a lot of torch damage potential here as well. He's deciding to go castle age though. Not a bad move. He's, you know, he doesn't need to rush things. He's getting there. He's going to get to the castle age pretty soon, courtesy of being able to go to the deer. Beastie went for the stockyard, so long term he's set up. But short term, he's a bit behind on food. And is committing to that feudal age as well. Now, interestingly, in the next 5-10 minutes, I mean, is he actually going to age up creator? It could be a bit problematic because Beastie's like, he's trying to push here. He's going to go to the next stage with the system of the first hill. This is going to be an awkward moment because we have a saying on the channel, when you age up, that's often when you're most vulnerable, and Beastie's sensing it. And this is a problem for creator because you don't really want to fight here. You want to save your units so you can get to the castle age, get veterancy on them. You might decide to fight anyway because, well, I mean, to be fair, he may not have much of a choice. The way that Beastie's pushing on in, I think Beastie recognizes his opponent is going to the castle age. He is far away from it himself, but he's setting up the long term. And if he can do damage, he'll be happy with things. One way to do damage is to really kind of affect the gold income. Because sure, in the feudal age you don't use that much gold, but in the castle age you certainly do. Especially when you go for the Riddari. Villagers retreating outside the outpost. It's going to heat up the Keshiks and Turgut by damaging that. Villagers here. Oh, it could be... Go around the gate, go into the gate, go into the gate. Oh, that one Keshik might do some work here. Archers, villagers on gold. There you can see he's desperate for gold because that's what you need, right? When you go to the next stage, you need gold for the premium units, and he's lost 4 villagers already. At-game method are diving a bit too deep, loses 2 for free. And this is a bit of a problem situation. Like you can see, creator doesn't really want to fight here. He wants the upgrades, but he's going to take it now. He's going to get a couple of archers, to be fair. Horseman diving on in. And the upgrades might come at the perfect time. We'll see. Trying to run out here. Batu Khan retreating. And the archers start to pick off some of the out-game method, which is not what he wants now. He doesn't have the glow hue of the movement speed, I don't think, anymore. Could potentially deploy runestones if he can actually... yeah, he can. He can get them if he wants to. Increases the movement speed. Looks like he's going to be able to get out of here. Beastie, he won't lose too much army. And this is actually kind of awkward for creator. Although he's getting good engagement with this... Yeah, with the Keshiks now with the out-game method, but he's pulling away. And Beastie should be able to retreat back home without losing too much. He's going to go to the castle age himself with the relic Uvus. He's not too far behind, you know, because of course, with all this action, Creator hasn't really been able to focus on the relics. And also, don't forget that he didn't go for the Grand Winery, so he couldn't produce the monks instantaneously. He would have needed to place a monastery, which he doesn't really have the wood for. But he's engaging it. I think he should be okay at taking this fight. Creator is going to do some damage for sure. It feels like he's really got to go on towards the gold, right? Not enough to do significant damage here, but he's killed the army for Beastie, which is actually quite significant because, again, like just like how Creator was waiting for his upgrades when he's in the castle age, well, Beastie doesn't really have an army here to upgrade anything. He's literally got one military unit. One Keshik here, hiding away. Gonna get a bit of a raid soon. As you can see, Stockyard, those villagers do have to back away. Loses one, and Keshik gonna get some value here. Well, this is a bit awkward. I hope the villagers notice this, otherwise this could be painful. Creator, Argy spots it now. He's just gonna fight this off with the villagers. I mean, he's gonna lose a couple here, no? I mean, the army is pretty much gonna go down. He's just causing some idle time. But yeah, oh, this could be, oh no, oh no. I mean, he's gonna get there in the end, but he's gonna lose a handful of villagers for sure. This was a huge pick-off by Beastie. Nice play. Now we do have some Riddari on the field. 3 of them. 4 of them. 5 of them. There's a 5th one somewhere. And I'm kind of curious, did he go for the prayer tent with the extra building cart? I'm not sure that he did actually. He went for military buildings. Understandable. And we get the second cavalry upgrade coming on in. Now the system of the first hill is a nice landmark for the Macedonian dynasty. It's got charges in it, but it can be used on mining camps, lumber camps, drop-off buildings essentially, getting resources, or it can be used to boost the work rate of military buildings, or even the research ones too. As you can see, he's using it on the mill at the moment, so he's going to get some food this way. Just a nice way to increase that income, which is actually often what you need in the castle age, especially after the raids that have been happening. Beastie's killed 14 villagers so far. Created down to 39. He's suffered a bit here for sure. This is where things become interesting because the Varangian arsenal, as you can see, has actually got 6 tiers of upgrades in total. And it's got the 3rd tier of the scale barding. So it's basically got an extra armor that Beastie can't get in the castle age. And he could potentially get it to level 4 too. Oh, not this time. He had a huge success there earlier, Beastie, trying to replicate it. Riddari will deal with this, but he's going to lose more villagers. This is huge. Beastie with the crazy raids. And denying a lot of food, by the way. There's boar, there's berries. And to be fair, he's taking most of the deer camp anyway, but it feels like he really needs to seal this off. Instead, he's going to go for the jugular around the middle. Go for the uvu. There's the prayer tent, though, for Beastie. Oh, Agnemether. Needs to go for the shaman. No, he's going to go for... No, he's going to go for the Keshik, for sure. Gets the kill. Nicely done. Oh, no, not again. Not again. He will lose another villager. Riddari will take care of that, but around the front lines, the army for Beastie is starting to fall. Now, he has started to transition onto crossbowmen. That would be great for dealing with the Riddari, but these guys are super tanky. Now, he's not using the runestones at all, which is really surprising. They increase the range of ranged weapons, which he doesn't really have. But it does actually increase the melee damage by 1. It's not too shabby, and also the movement speed, so he catches up with things pretty quickly. He's dealt a lot of damage here. Beastie, he is idle with a lot of his economy because of this. And he's starting to catch up on the worker kills. And killing some of the crossbows now. Nice work here by Creator to get himself back into the game. Wallow coming up, just a distraction more than anything, but you can see villagers on stockyards are going down. This is great. Look how tanky these Riddari are. He's got the extra armor, right? It's doing great work for him. Gonna look to build the Uvu. The relic Uvu has been deployed, so more stone that way. But this is, I mean, 14 villagers have been idle for a very long time. There it is. It looks like the next technology is coming on in. Wow. Even more raids. Thinning down the numbers of crossbows. And that's the big deal as well. It's not just about the raids, it's about thinning down the crossbow numbers. Oh, he's still losing villagers. Beastie's not enough space to garrison inside. This is absolutely detrimental to his economy. A handful of Riddari have done so much work. He continues to play Ring Around the Rosie. By the way, these guys are not counted as idle on the counter, but they are very much idled. Beastie now has lost 24 villages. The last 2-3 minutes for the Macedonian dynasty have been absolutely phenomenal. I'm surprised that he's not going for this gold here on the left side, actually. I mean, to be fair, these are much bigger tile gold veins here. At least this one is. But that would have given him just one side to defend. And he keeps trickling in units. And get rid of that Ovu. Would make sense to just try and consolidate now, pick up some relics. Now, it's a bit misleading, the overlay, because he's actually got he's actually got just 2 Ovus. 3 relic Ovus. So he actually picked up 3 relics here, Beastie. That's the power of going for the relic Ovu castle age, because he's going to get extra 20% stone from it as well. Which would be great for production. Going to thin down the number of spears. Look how tanky these Ridderi are. They're like, it's crazy the work they're doing. Oh, this could be... Oh, there's only a couple of Akkemether. They're not phenomenal at doing damage to villages, but every little bit helps. Beastie's just struggling to get units out at this point. And the crazy thing is that you might be wondering, why is he staying underneath the town centre? It's absolutely perfectly fine to do. When you're idling 15 villages like this, for such a long period of time, it's such a big hit to the economy. Cracking work by Creator. He lost a lot of villages earlier on in the game, but he's starting to pull things back, and he recognizes now this is a big area to attack, and he's going to get some really good value. Yes, there's sprinkled emplacements in these outposts, but if he gets a chunk of the villages here, it won't matter. This is definitely worth it. Oh, he's getting so many. He's got throwing axes as well. The ranged element to the melee attack, because it is fundamentally a melee attack. Just did so much work there. Sniped the villagers. And now he heads back to consolidate. Snipes a shaman too. Great work in the last couple of minutes. This is certainly a very exposed area, but he's got map control here, Creator. So he won't be feeling too scared about the situation. We could potentially even go for this. We'll see what he decides to spend it on. Either way, he's pumping out units. The question is, if you're Beastie, what do you do against this, right? Because you have to react to the Ridderi play. Like the Ridderi, I should say Ridderi, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. So this unit is so strong that you can't really go toe-to-toe with cavalry of your own usually. Kind of need to go for crossbows. But the problem is, if you don't have a mass of them, they can get sniped. That's what's been happening so far. Just going to dive it once again. This is so many cavalry units from Creator. Does he just fight this? I think he does. There are a couple of crossbows on the backline, but it doesn't really feel like enough. A couple of Kharash added into mix, increasing the melee armor of these allied units. But the Ridderi coming round. To be fair, these are spearmen now as well. So spearmen crossbows, the perfect counter for the army. And Creator now has to back away. Continues to just spam Ridderi. He has actually started to get some Bogmather archers, which are really good at dealing damage to both the spearmen and the crossbows. It also has an ability, by the way, ignores 2 armor, but they move slower. But that is huge. Go for the forward Varangian stronghold as well. The berries, and I wonder if he's got the upgrade, if he's got the Arislitz upgrade for it. Not yet, but perhaps something he could potentially consider. Oh, but he just might have to back away from the berries. That's exactly what they do. Alright, Ridderi gonna ride on in. There's quite a few Bogmather now, so the Bogmather, if they can focus on the spears, the Ridderi then will go straight onto the back line, and this is a fight Beastie is not going to win. These units, as you can see, they're just too strong. That's all about the Ridderi now, chasing down the crossbow numbers, just consolidating this fight and building on it. Now Batu Khan has joined the fight, but he's not going to last very long in this. There's no supporting Turgut. There it is, GG gets scored, Beastie taps out, and in the end, both players almost raided each other to death, but there was one player that did it just a bit more, and it turns out that Creator takes the game on Gorge. Hope you guys enjoyed this game, and if you did, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Take care, and see you next time.